John S. Kennedy. Women want him. Men also want him. He's an ex-cop turned superfed, and in Resident Evil 4 Remake, he's going to... Oh? Out of the channel budget? Okay. And in Resident Evil 4 2005 HD Remaster, he has to save the president's daughter so that they can work some overtime in his office.
How about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
But why is this, maybe, the best Resident Evil game? And why did it change my life? Resident Evil 4 is built on one important thing: tension. And tension is built from the moment the player can move. The game leaves you in the middle of nowhere in a desolate village with nothing but a gun and a cool-ass jacket. This leaves you feeling uneasy since the setting is so remote and so different to normal civilization that you can't help but feel isolated and alone. When you walk into this house, this guy doesn't say, he says,
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
Which adds to the uneasy feeling since you have no idea what any of this means. Then out of nowhere he's like, and suddenly you're in the middle of the village with all its inhabitants surrounding you, and the game keeps suffocating you, pouring on enemy after enemy. And oh no, it's Chainsaw Man, and there's all this tension until all of a sudden,
Oh, la campana.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
and then it's quiet again. This is what makes the game so fun. In each area, there are constantly new elements being introduced. New enemies, new locations, traps and elements in the environment. These create tension which slowly builds until it reaches its boiling point and breaks once you clear the area, which not only gives you a sense of relief, but leaves you satisfied after overcoming seemingly impossible odds. And this is all thanks to The game throws out the usual Resident Evil setting of a house or a city and puts the player in a completely different area. The foreign setting, along with the fact that the villagers seem to be trapped in 1754, gives the game a unique feeling of isolation, since it feels like the player is in a secluded village that nobody was meant to discover. The village feels like a perversion of life, as everything from the trees to the people seem dead. Yet the people still try to imitate their usual daily tasks of cooking and farming, which, well, I mean, at least they're trying. Even what little technology there is sucks, and it all seems to be barely working. This dead aspect is helped by one really important thing. There are so many guys in this game. We got big guys, small guys, skinny guys, fat guys, whoever this is. Some guys' heads explode into this, some of them are secret Silent Hill crossover. But what makes the enemies so good in this game is that they're all puzzles. What does that mean though? While you can just shoot a lot of enemies, this isn't very effective, since you'll run out of supplies very quickly. Each enemy has a gimmick which the player can exploit. For example, the villagers are easy to kill with a few headshots, but there's a 50-50 chance they just... So you as the player have to choose whether you want an easy kill at the risk of recreating the chestburster scene from Alien. Another cool enemy gimmick is this creature which seems unkillable. All you can do is run away and hope it doesn't try to touch you. That is, unless you have this thermal scope, which exposes all its weaknesses so you can just... and it's dead. But these are just a couple of the many enemies this game has, each with a unique murder-themed puzzle to solve. And when the game combines different enemy types together and you have to fight them all, it's just...
So good.
But this wouldn't work so well without the... Okay, look. Movement in this game is... not that good. Okay, listen. It feels like you're playing as a cinder block in this game. The way you have to move with the direction sticks to turn instead of using the camera, it's really disorienting, and I think it's kind of terrible. Okay, but this game did release in 2004, And we are in 2024, so you can just get mods that fix this problem. So actually, if you really think about it, the movement is really good. Anyway, the gameplay is some of the best in gaming history. And there's a simple reason for that. Immersion. This game really puts you in the leather jacket of Leon. Despite being 20 years old, this game feels incredibly immersive. But why? Part of this is the very person you play as. The fact that outside of your health, there is no HUD, gives you the feeling that you are Leon. The guns don't have a reticle. Instead, you aim with the in-game red dot laser, just like a real government operative would. You also stand still when you aim, because guess what? In reality, it's pretty damn difficult to shoot something while you're moving. Leon also doesn't have any insane or unrealistic animations except this one, and has different animations for various attacks different enemies do. Speaking of animations, the enemies have multiple reactions depending on where you shoot them. You can make them grab their legs and fall over, or you can shoot them in the face and combo it with an absolutely insane roundhouse kick. But enemies can also do things like grab you, or worse. But there's more. You can shoot dynamite out of the air, perform martial arts, and make enemies fall from high places. Sometimes if you decapitate someone, they'll keep walking for a bit before falling over. The level of detail is insane, and still holds up to this day. And it's kind of crazy that not as many games have these small details. In fact, I think that Resident Evil 4 has remained so good because that's what it does. It has all these elements, these details that add up and come together to make a truly great game. So anyways, that's why you should play Resident Evil. It's kind of difficult to encompass why you like something so much. It's kind of hard to put down all of your thoughts concisely on why you like something, especially when you don't really know what it is that you like so much. Like with this game, I can't stop thinking about really specific things in it, like the cutscene where you fight Krauser, or in that same boss fight, the fact that there's a quick time event to respond with a one-liner to Krauser. Just things that are really oddly specific to this game. Or just like when you walk into that room with the chair and you sit on it and it's like there's no time for resting now or whatever. Just very specific things that they didn't have to put in the game, but they did. And I feel like it's those things that make this game so good. A lot of games will put in things that only facilitate the gameplay, you know? Like they didn't have to put in Leon doing this roundhouse kick thing or any of the extra campaigns, which I know they put into other games as well. Like in Resident Evil 2 you got 2 campaigns and you got the mercenaries and whatever, same with Resident Evil 5. But in this game, they just add a whole bunch of stuff, you know? And it's just things that you'd never really think of. They always keep you on your toes. They always add new stuff to play. And I think that's what makes this game so good. Anyway, I guess this is the source of Resident Evil 4, if you could call it that. So, video's over now. Goodbye.